Let's get back to that earthquake that struck up in the San Juan Islands this morning. The magnitude 4.5 quake struck near Orcas Island. There is no tsunami warning right now and no reports of damage, but we felt it all the way down here in Seattle. And joining us now live is Pacific Northwest Seismic Network Director Harold Tobin. So Harold, good morning to you. First off, can I ask if you felt it where you were?
Yeah, good morning. No, I slept right through it. I'm afraid I'm in Seattle, but it didn't take very long until the messages on my phone from our staff and our system started waking me up.
Yes, I'm sure your phone was just blowing up this morning. So Harold, this was a considerably strong quake. What can you tell us about it?
Yeah, as you said, magnitude 4.5. And I heard your reporter a second ago saying that, it's the largest we've had in Washington state since 2019. It was widely felt around the region and in Canada, of course, because Victoria is not far away. We see earthquakes not uncommonly, usually not felt around the San Juan Islands region, but this is certainly the largest in quite a while in that area. I haven't heard any damage reports, but there are many thousands of felt reports on our website.
As you study the data right now as it's coming in, do we have any sense of whether we can expect any aftershocks today?
Yeah, we certainly expect aftershocks to occur. Now, whether they'll be large enough for people to feel or not, in fact, there have already been some aftershocks from this quake, but way down below at the level where only our instruments detect them. It's common for earthquakes like this to have aftershocks. In fact, they virtually always do. There is a relatively small chance of a larger earthquake, so that therefore it becomes a foreshock to a bigger earthquake. But that likelihood is down at the level of sort of 10% and lower in the next week or month or so. It is not impossible, however, that a larger earthquake could follow it.
A lot of us have this shake alert system that we've been studying, and we've been reporting on this for quite a while now. Was this quake strong enough to trigger it? And what have you noticed in terms of the time or the seconds it took for it to get triggered?
Yeah, absolutely. This quake was, in fact, large enough to trigger shake alert. And in fact, it's our first real shake alert alerting event that we've had in Washington since we turned the system on in 2021. So shake alert, because of the size of the earthquake being relatively modest, it only activated for a small region that's basically inside the San Juan Islands. And some folks who have either the MyShake app or maybe from Google Alerts did see an alert. Now, they're very close to the earthquake, so they probably didn't get a lot of advance warning. I'm just still trying to gather some reports on that. If an earthquake is magnitude 5 or larger, then an Amber Alert style alert would go out to even if you don't have the app. It was not big enough for that.
Okay, well, good to know that it worked. Yes, for people who have the app, they got the alert. I have to ask you about this. We've seen sort of a series of other smaller earthquakes in our region in the past few weeks. What does this indicate to you, if anything? Maybe something, maybe nothing. What does it say for you?
Yeah, it shows us that we're in a seismically active region. The fact that there have been a more than usual number of events in the past week or two is not uncommon. Even things that are random sometimes show sort of clusters in time of events. And so far, there's nothing that rises above the level of what I would call normal activity for our region. Sometimes we have, bigger felt earthquakes, and as we go a long period without them. Of course, we're paying close attention to everything that's happening, and we would be the first to say if we thought something unusual was going on.
Okay. Harold Tobin, our state seismologist for Washington, thank you very much for your insights. We'll probably talk to you again later on today. Thank you so much.